Okay.
How are you?
All right, everybody, we're gonna be starting here soon, so if you guys can have a seat. Board members, if you guys can have a seat where you guys are. Thank you, Mr. Ika. Down.
Diosa.
Okay. You guys are good? I'm just waiting for one other person to have a seat.
Angela. Come on.
Okay, we're good? Alright. Alright, everybody, thank you for coming to the Kalihi Palama Neighborhood Board meeting, number 15, our normal monthly meeting every third Wednesday. I just wanted to go ahead and say that I just found out that we have the ability now, is it 24 hours after the thing is, or?
Yeah, YouTube.
So before we have to, there will be a YouTube link that we could go to, but it still is going to be broadcast at the time where it was. So that to me is a very important thing, because every time before, what I try to do is what will still have substance the next month, right? Like, because the broadcast happened next month, what are things that are still relevant as it broadcasts? So now we have more time for things, which is awesome. Moving on with that, let's go ahead and start this meeting. Immediately what we're gonna do is, because we don't have quorum, we're gonna strike agenda items 2, 4, 10, and I think that should move us along. So first up, can you have a Honolulu Fire Department, please?
Don't forget about 5, yeah.
I'm sorry, 5 too as well. That's 5. Thanks.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Hi, my name is Hunter. I'm from Kalihi Station 6. I have our statistics from September. So number 1, information previously requested. No information was previously requested last month. Number 2, incident statistics for September. A, fires, structure fires, 3, wildland/brush fires, 2, nuisance fires, 11, cooking fires, 0, and activated fire alarms with no fire, 10. And then to clarify, nuisance fires are rubbish fires or any type of fire outside of a vehicle or structure. And then statistics for our other emergencies: medicals, 200, motor vehicle collision with pedestrians, 1, motor vehicle crash dash collision, 12, mountain rescue, 0, ocean rescue, 0, hazardous material incidents, 1. Number 3, fire safety tips and announcements. Our fire safety tip is Fire Prevention Month. The National Fire Protection Association sponsors Fire Prevention Week, which is observed from October 8th to 14th, 2023. As the national campaign is promoted throughout the month of October, this year's theme is cooking safety. And cooking safety starts with you. Pay attention to fire prevention. Did you know cooking fires are the leading cause of home fires and home fire injuries? Unattended cooking is the leading cause of cooking fires and deaths. What can you do? The good news is you can prevent most cooking fires and burns. Help keep your family safer with these simple but effective tips. 1, turn your pot handles towards the back of the stove while you're cooking. Always keep a lid nearby when you're cooking. If a small grease fire starts, slide the lid over the pan and turn off the burner. Watch what you heat. Set a timer to remind you that you are cooking. And then finally, have a kid and pet-free zone of at least 3 feet around the stove and areas where hot food or drink is prepared or carried. And that's all I have for tonight, but Does anyone have any questions?
Any questions from the board members?
No.
Oh, a question, right?
A question.
Go ahead.
Aloha, HFT. I was wondering about the working that we just talked about. So, commercial kitchens, when people work as vendors in commercial kitchens, is there a special HFD process to to put out fires and to conduct drills in commercial kitchens? That's from the food safety branch from the DOH.
So just to clarify your question, you asked if the HFD has any specific drills or training that we do specifically for commercial kitchens.
Yeah.
Is that? The HFD does do specific drills for specific types of fires. I know for this year we've been focusing on single-family residences, but I'm sure we will focus on commercial kitchens and businesses like that in the future.
Okay. I was just thinking that there'd be more fires at the commercial kitchens than
Thank you.
because people would cook more.
Yeah, we do
A lot of
monthly inspections of restaurants and commercial kitchens, just to make sure everything is up to date and safe. Make sure all their extinguishers are current. Make sure all their cooking safety equipment is clean and safe to use.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from board members? Any from the community? Any questions? I actually have a question and a request. So first question is, in terms of Narcan use, because you guys are also EMTs too at the same time, from my understanding, also with fire. You guys actually have a count on that, or just how much you guys use so far? I guess on a monthly basis.
Sorry, could you repeat the first half of that?
So Narcan use.
Oh, okay, Narcan.
If you guys, I don't know if you guys have a count like every month or so. I just know that, because of the prevalence of fentanyl and whatnot, you guys are using it, are you seeing it more? You guys, I believe you guys have it already, but are you guys using it more or seeing the need to use it more?
Yeah, so we just, our department just issued Narcans to our trucks so we can use it on calls. I don't have the statistic right now for how many uses we've had since we've gotten them, but that's something that I could get for you for next month.
Okay. That would be much appreciated. And the request is, just if you can, DM the NA over here, who's in charge of the of this stream. VTC. The contact info for the station. There were some things I wanted to ask you guys out directly at the station level, so that much appreciated.
Yeah. So do you want the station's contact info?
Station or fire or the fire captains.
Okay.
Whichever.
I can give you the HFD's community relations office, and I can give you our station.
I've gone around already, and I'm still waiting.
Okay, so our station is HFD E6B at honolulu.gov.
Okay, so you want me to email this person, correct?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, can you restate that again, please? Or
Yeah.
can I type it in?
So, is there somewhere I can type it?
Yeah,
Right in the chat.
Okay.
right in the chat. And that's, I'll let you go off, do that onto the side. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all you guys do. I know you guys been busy, and just be safe out there. HPD District 1, Lieutenant Sagusio.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Lieutenant Sagusio representing the District 1 Community Area Responsibility. Thank you for your guys' time and patience. The information I'm going to be providing to you guys tonight is the statistics for your particular area. For more statistical information, you guys can go to the public website at www.honolulupd.org. The statistical information for the month of September 2023 is as follows. So motor vehicle theft was 4 for September. The previous month was 4 also. Burglaries were 3. Previous was 2. Thefts 9. Previous 6. UMVs or car break-ins is down to 2. From the previous month it was 7. Assaults is also down. It's got 1. From the previous month it was 6. 6 assaults, graffiti cases, and drug cases were all zeros for both months. And the total cost for service for your area went down just slightly. 253 compared to the previous month was 289. At this point in time, there's no any criminal breaches to report or any concerns. The safety tip for the month of October will be the Halloween season in regards to tampered candies and treats. We're asking our community members to be very diligent in checking candies before allowing our keiki or even ourselves in consuming them. Choose homes and neighbors you folks know and or go to major shopping malls that will be having candy handle events for this Halloween. The Honolulu Police Department has guidelines and protocols in place to make notifications and for handling these types of investigations. However, we all know that prevention is the best solution. At this time, I'm going to yield back the rest of my time and take any questions from the board members and the public attendees.
Any questions from the board? For District 1?
Yes.
Sorry, who's that?
It's called.
Sorry. Hi, who is this? I have a 808 number 2 and then it last is 01.
Star.
Who's this?
0.
Hello.
Okay, so we're gonna go to board members first.
Hey, that's
If you happen to be a
fine.
board member, just let us know.
That's
But
my number.
but go ahead. That's your number?
Yeah, why is it up there?
I mean, it might be. Go ahead.
Yo.
Let's not take up HPD's
Go
time.
ahead,
So
sis, go ahead.
go ahead.
Lieutenant, I was just wondering about the graffiti. There was tagging everywhere I witnessed, and so, but then of course it could be objective, and
Where did you see the tagging?
Yeah.
um,
Location.
like in downtown,
Okay.
District 1. So yeah, there's plenty. There's choke. So I was wondering about that, but it's down to 0. So if we do see tagging, what should we do? What is the procedure?
So if you see the active in active progress and stuff like that, please contact HPD so we can respond and catch these I'm just gonna say delinquents and put them in jail and stuff like that, right? We've been seeing a lot of graffiti on the freeway. We've notified state DOT, in regards to painting those graffitis over. It's kind of a little bit outside of your district area, but we've been noticing it also. We've been taking note of these tags. We've been forwarding it to our investigative units to keep track of them. So when we do catch these guys, we can identify them by their tag unit. Yeah. Other than that, I'll just continue to call. There's also a graffiti hotline where cases have possibly already been made, but we just need to get that graffiti painted over. And the graffiti hotline is a good place to start because they can make contact with those property owners and schedule the paint overs. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And I think it'd be good if there could be some collaboration from the community policing team to work with the schools to raise awareness about appropriate forms of art instead of these students having to take out their frustration or emotions.
We can take that with the education portion and
Yeah.
our
Thank you.
committee. Question, Lieutenant Tsugushio, what do you guys define assault as? What's
Assault
classified as
is assaults is in regards to if you make physical contact or get into a physical altercation with a person and you cause bodily injury. Yeah. So the other person, the victim, would only need to say that they felt pain. So a slap, punch, a push, and if they felt pain, that would be considered an assault. If they don't feel pain, then it would be considered harassment. Yeah. And the
Got
first
it.
part to that, yeah, and the first part to the Angela's question, I just wanted to touch base on that. Yeah, maybe the board could help us in regards to legislation. I know that you're supposed to be a certain particular age in order to pick up these particular spray paint cans. but also the possession of them by juveniles should be. I know we have a law on that, but the penalty should be higher. I mean, look at all the devastation that they're creating. Yeah. So when we catch these guys, we need better legislation, better prosecution, and jail time. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Any other questions on that from the board?
District one. No, District one. This is District one.
Yeah. this is-
I have a
Um,
question.
Okay, go ahead.
State your name.
Can I go?
Yes.
State your name.
I'm sorry, for the
My
record.
name
can you
Amanda
please-
Ibanez.
Hey, Amanda.
Oh, Amanda.
Hey,
Girl.
just, you're a board member. You said something.
Yeah, I'm
Go
on.
ahead.
I'm on here. I'm in the meeting. Can I ask a question now?
Yeah, go for it.
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
So for cybercrime, as the holiday season is starting to ramp up, my concern is cybercrimes. I just recently had filed a police report, and it's a class 1 felony. I had to, and I even reported it to the FBI. So if I'm encountering this, which is a class 1, I filed felony against someone, actually a big party, yeah. I would like for there to be more education for multimedia, Facebook, Twitter, now known as X, TikTok, or scams that are possibly out there on multimedia. Kids being exposed to many different things, and there's no education. There's nothing out there to teach the elderly, to teach people who are innocent, just like me, because I was trying to just be relevant to the younger generation, and I fell upon some really, really bad people online, and I believe that more education and more awareness, especially, I'm an adult and I work in the state. I clearly know when there's a violation, and I reported it right away to HPD and FBI. But many people, I would say, great majority don't know anything. So if HPD, whoever you speak to, your command, can come up with a program to educate, come up with commercials, radio shows, whatever, legislation for Hawaii especially, to help protect and prevent and educate for cybercrime.
Absolutely. I'll take that back to my command staff and let them know that there's an influx of these types of scams going on. But just realize this,
Yeah.
those criminals, yeah, they move very quickly, yeah. They move from one technique to the next technique to the following, and so on and so forth. Every time, so law enforcement is always catching up in regards to that, right? But I'll just leave it at this. If it sounds too good to be true, or if it does sound a little bit fishy, or the hair on your arm stands up, then just believe that it's not true, and then go through your normal protocols in order to verify if they are, yeah. Like if these guys say that they're HECO or gas company, just an example, right? I would say, you know what, give me your guys' main line and I'll call you guys back. Or in fact, I would look up the phone number myself and then compare and then call, and just verify, yeah. Because if these scams are really difficult because, just like I said, they utilize different techniques and they're very progressive with it. They usually pick on our elderly, our more matured group in the community, and because they're more, little bit freer with their information. So if it just sounds too good to be true, just assume it is.
Yeah, I think more education to the general public, especially keiki that are in high school or something, some kind of program, because I know you guys have LEAP. So the more that kids, students, and other people, anybody is more educated, as we are in a different day and age, which, like what you said, cyber is the new place to be, and people are not going to department stores and ripping, but they do. But the biggest thing right now is online. So like everybody can fall victim to anything. I'm pretty savvy. I'm an investigator. Yeah, I'm an investigator. So when I came across it, I was like, oh, here we go. And there was illegal websites. I mean, I don't want to get into it, all the little nuances. So it's pretty sophisticated enough for the FBI to be involved. So if and I'm not tech savvy, I don't think I am, but if that's happening, please let your command know.
Absolutely. I'll take that back to my command, and that it would be a great
Yeah.
program to come out. Maybe TV
It would
commercials
be
and stuff like that.
Is
yeah,
there
it would
any
be a
other
great
board-
program because that speaks to the generation now.
Yes,
Is,
I'll take that
is
back,
there any
Chair.
other board members?
District 1 here,
Mahalo.
or District 5?
Not
It's
yet.
the District, okay. Oh,
This is still District 1. Any other questions? No?
DEM is working on something like that, I just want to add.
Well, okay. Is there anybody in the community that want to ask? So District 1 is a very small area of ours. It basically, it pretty much comes down to like just where the Liha is, and it goes down in Chinatown. So it's a very small area of District 1. So most of ours is actually District 5, which is the larger majority of our, the police district within our area. So with that said, I don't see anybody else that's on there. Lieutenant Sanucio, I'll add some questions, but I'll follow up later on with you. And then, yeah. Okay, but I want to get you guys back there on beat. Appreciate everything you guys do.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Yes, have a great night.
All right. Thank you. District 5?
Hi, this is Lieutenant Smith from District 5. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, it doesn't, I can't see myself here, but I am here.
We can't either.
Very well.
Halloween vibes.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, for District 5, for the month of September, we had 7 burglaries, 24 motor vehicle thefts, 50 simple theft cases, and 7 UEMV cases. Burglary was down 5 cases, so from 12 in August to 7. Motor vehicle theft went up 6 cases from 18 to 24, and theft was about even. So we had 3 more theft cases in August, 53 in comparison to 50 in September. UMVs cut in half from 14 to 7 in September. And you guys got to forgive me. I am the day watch lieutenant, so I don't frequent this meeting. So if you guys have any questions, I'm open to take them now.
Okay, any questions from the board members?
Yes.
Go ahead.
That'll be me again.
Okay, she
Right,
can go
so,
first. She can go first.
yeah, go ahead, Amanda, and then Diosa.
So
No, no, no.
I'll keep it really short. So the same sentiment that I had shared for the cyber crimes, for there to be more education outreach for cyber crimes, as that is the trend now, and everybody's on multimedia. That's where everybody's shopping. That's where everybody's at, and that's where the criminals are at too. So if you can bring that back to command, if there can be through the LEAP program, through outreach, through education, going to the schools, having commercials, being very creative, talking to the elderly, talking to anybody. Because again, if I'm a female and I'm not elderly and I ain't super young, I'm somewhere in the middle of, yeah. So if I came across that, and again, I reached out to FBI, IC3, and HPD, cyber crimes. If I came across that and I'm not super tech savvy, it's really out there, and it's a big concern, and I'm like flabbergasted on what's not out there for education and different laws and policy, of which maybe me and Ken can work on something for legislation, not only for pink, but also for protecting people and for prosecuting. But please reach out to your command and share that information.
Sure, will do. Me personally, I've seen PSAs on TV, but I think what you're saying is something I agree with. Maybe we can take it back to our community policing team and see what we can do to actually go out to senior citizen homes and schools. The kids are a lot more tech savvy, the younger ones, and they kind of understand these things, but still more like the older folks' homes and things like that, and see if we can actually just touch bases with them and give them this information. But as Lieutenant Segusio said, a lot of these crimes actually take place from other countries and things like that. So the main thing you would want to know is if anything, if it looks too good or it sounds too good, it's probably not the real deal. Or if someone calls you and they ask for your personal information over the phone, that's not something you want to give. Legitimate companies don't do that. If someone told you that you won something and then they ask you for a check in order to get your prize, that's probably not something that's good. Simple things like that. But I would say from the perspective of our district, District 5, we'll put it out to the community policing team and see what we can do to, like, put boots on the ground and touch bases with people and do it at the local level. That's something that I can take back to the command.
That's going to be great, especially for the elderly. Kapunas, they're not aware of not everybody is a good person. And for some children, I do work with kids. Some of them are challenged, and one of them did fall victim too, and they're tech savvy. So
Yes.
it wouldn't hurt to educate people and bring them to awareness, as that is the new wave of criminals. They're online.
Oh yeah, I
so
think
much.
we pretty much know that that is the new wave, and cyber crimes is a big thing, and it's very difficult to combat. I will say that, but yes, that is definitely something I'll take back to the command.
Thanks.
I
Diosa?
appreciate. Thank you so much.
Is there any other questions from the other board?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Diosa.
Oh no, I was just trying to introduce. So I have one of my sons. So a parent from one of my sons, or a parent from my son's school today. She'd like to address an incident that
That's a
happened.
community
That's
consent.
community.
Would-
Let me-
You've been asking questions from
Yeah,
District
but
5?
it's board members right now, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go first.
I thought
I
you-
don't
Good
want
question.
to
Go ahead, go.
Oh, okay. Because if you need to represent her, then
She can speak.
Go ahead.
okay.
She can ask the questions.
I was just gonna piggyback on what Amanda was saying and present the questions at the Honolulu Department of Emergency Management, which is also a city branch, along with HPD. Was discussing and raising awareness through social media and multimedia of emergency preparedness and how to respond in a case of an emergency. So if that's something that Amanda wants to consider to work with the HPD and Department of Emergency Management, it coordinates preparedness and response plans, programs, initiatives with city, state, federal, and non-governmental entities. And it was chartered by Chapter 127A-5, Hawaii Revised Statute, and the revised charter of the Honolulu and City and County of Honolulu. So
All right, do we have any questions? Sorry.
that was the
You can
question.
contact Amanda
Okay, thank you.
directly.
Thank you.
Right. So, yeah.
Do the timer.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Okay. So just real quick. So, do you want to community concerns or can it be done?
If she has a question for
If he has a.
Yeah, she has a question. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
As a community
So,
person.
so you want me to go backtrack later on when she
No,
presents the
because
story?
if he has a question for District 5, she can ask, unless if there's any other
So,
board members.
Let her go first, and with that, I'll ask just based on that because let's see what we can do. If we can do this here, ask a question, and then she still wants to go during community concerns. So let's just go
Does it
that
make more
route.
sense to just tell her story first, then address the concern?
She
Yeah.
can ask the question with the officers.
Well, I can just ask, like what she asked today. Sorry, thank you. I'm Marjorie, by the way. I just want to ask, what's considered assault?
What is considered assault? Can you
Yes.
hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you can go on your phone right now. All you have to do is Google HRS Hawaii Revised Statutes 7, Section 712. I'm sorry, Section 707
So
712.
I understand that it is online, but we would like to hear from like an actual HPD officer
Okay,
what
so
is
if you-
considered an assault.
If you want to know exactly what the assault is by the letter of the law, you can do that. So if you want to ask me, then that's when someone physically harms someone intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly and causes injury. That is the definition of assault. And it,
So I
depending
have
on what
another-
you do and how severe the injuries are determines the level of assault.
Okay, I have another question. So if you're reporting to the police station, are you supposed to write something down on paper that you have our police report? You did
I'm
report
sorry.
to the
I'm
police.
sorry, ma'am. I don't know where you're going with that. Can you start over, please?
If you are reporting an assault or an incident, What is the procedure to that?
If you were assaulted and you want to report it, the procedure is to call 911 or flag down a police officer as soon as possible and tell us what happened, and that police officer should take it from there.
Because like what you said, right? Intentional act that gives another person reasonable fear. I'm representing my kids. My kids were my son was assaulted. Okay, to me, it's considered assault. I went to HPD after talking to the principal, and they told me, you don't need to write down an another police report because we'll piggyback on the incident report that they did from the
Okay,
school.
ma'am. My name is Lieutenant Smith. I am the admin and second day watch lieutenant, Lieutenant Anthony Smith. The phone number to the police station in Kalihi is 723-8207. One more time, 808-723-8207. If you have a personal issue or something that happened and you have questions about it, you can give me a call there, and I will answer any questions that you may need. And if I am not working that day, the other lieutenant is Lieutenant Promisiri. That's P-H-R, take it down, ma'am, O-M-S-I-R-I. And we will definitely help you. We will answer any questions that you may have. Sometimes you have situations that seem like you're going down a road where it's going to take a minute. We would have to listen to your whole story to tell you exactly what was done right, wrong, where to go from there. I would advise that you do that, and you can even call me tonight. I am on till midnight.
The reason I ask that is because I'm all about paperwork and paper trail. That's just legalities to me. I went down there as advice from the principal. And when I went there, they told me, Officer Van Houten told me, I don't need to write anything. They'll just add it on to whatever the principal that already filed a report on this person. And this person is homeless, according to them, or mentally ill. I don't know. I don't want to be biased. I'm not that person. But my thing is the safety of my children.
So I guess, sorry, I'm gonna stop it right there just for a bit. We'll bring it back up at community concerns at the end of the, toward the end of the meeting. But I guess what her question is how can HPD support the safety of her kids if, you know, if she's getting shut down as a parent already at HPD? I understand reaching out directly, calling the number and all that, but just from your perspective, or just right now, how can HPD support or give the community some sort of assurance that our kids will be safe, especially during the time that's Halloween now. There's going to be kids walking around and there's people on the street that are, you know, doing God knows what. How can HPD support that?
That sounds like a question better suited for a politician. So if you're asking me as a police officer, how can we guarantee anything? I'm going to tell you that I'll guarantee you that I will do the best job I can to make sure we have as many officers on the streets as possible and do the best job that we can. That's the only thing that I can promise you. As far as the assault case, I really ask you to call me and give me the details of it so I can tell you where to go from there. There's no such thing as for sure in police work. There's no thing as saying that I can promise you. I cannot promise myself that I'll make it home tonight, but I promise you I will do the best that I can to make sure that the officers on the street do their jobs. I will train them to the best of my capabilities, and we will try to flood the streets as much as possible in between handling cases. That's kind of a broad spectrum question, but if you guys have anything more specific that I can answer, I will try to answer that.
Thank you. We'll give you a call. Appreciate it.
Sure, ma'am. It's
so
723-8207.
We got it.
Lieutenant
Thank you.
Smith.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna, thank you very much for indulging us here in a second. The only question I had was, so battery, is that more of a repeat of that type of behavior, or what is it when it's assault and battery? I was kind of wondering what the difference was on that.
I'm sorry, assault and battery?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I missed the top end of the question. Can you ask the question again?
Sure. So the question was, so people were asking what the definition of assault was, but then there's assault and battery. Is that kind of like a whole other degree of intensity, or what is that?
Does that make a difference?
I'm sorry, do we have assault and battery in the Hawaii Revised Statute? I've heard that on TV and in some other states. I've never heard battery being used in the Hawaii Revised Statute. We have assault first, assault second,
Okay.
and assault third. And the level of those assaults are based on the severity of the injuries or what weapons you use. I specifically haven't heard anything about battery in the HRS that determines how a case is classified. Maybe I'm wrong. It's a thick book, but assault in Hawaii is levels 1, 2, and 3, which is a Class B felony, assault 1, a Class C felony for assault 2, and a misdemeanor for assault 3.
Got you. No, I appreciate that clarification. I don't want to leave you any more time. I know you guys District 5 is a very large area. Thank you for all you guys do, and I'm sure that she'll get in contact with you, and you guys will respond accordingly.
Yes, I'll be waiting for that call.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Real quick, so because we have quorum, I'm going to go off agenda, go back up again. So we go to agenda item 5.
No, 2.
I'm sorry, 2. The election of officers to serve. So we can go ahead and do this like we did the last time. Is there any, how do you want to start this? And we have to do it by roll call vote, correct?
Yes, but you have to do nominations as well.
So we have to go through the full nomination, closed nomination,
And then roll call.
and then to
Roll call.
the actual election, okay. To roll call. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with chair.
I nominate Amanda Ibanez.
Amanda, do you accept the nomination for chair?
Yes.
Okay. So,
I second.
okay, so it's moved and seconded. She accepts the nomination.
Show me.
Someone want to close? Move to close the nominations?
Okay.
I don't need
Is there any other nomination?
Is there any, sorry, we have to follow this part protocol. Is there any other nominations? Yes, you want to nominate yourself?
I'd like to nominate Donald
Sure.
for chair.
Donald, you have to accept the nomination or respectfully decline. And then if that's the case, then it'll be vote between you and Amanda.
My ego says no.
Okay.
No, thank you.
So he respectfully declines. Okay, so
Is there
we
any
still
other
have to roll call, or we have to go by vote by
Yeah, have to
nomination?
do.
Okay, so protocol says we have to go down the roll call vote. So could you please call the roll?
So when you cast your vote, you do need to say the name of the person that you're voting for. Yeah. Let's see. Diosa.
What's your name?
Amanda.
You want to say her name?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
say her
you have
name.
to say
Amanda Ibanez.
Ken.
Amanda.
Donald.
Amanda.
Eric.
Amanda.
Cards.
Amanda.
Angela.
Amanda.
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 There you go.
Okay, so we do have 7. So.
Alright.
So Amanda will be the chair.
Yes.
Elect.
Wow.
There's, Amanda, there's a thing that you can do. It's either you're gonna take immediately the post right now.
Right? We can go to recess and do that.
Yeah, we can
I'm
go
gonna
to
wait for the
recess
next-
and then.
There you go.
Okay, so you're gonna
Next
you're gonna
meeting.
go in. Okay, you're gonna do that. Okay, next. I'll just take a note of that then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on to
Finish this meeting with
vice
Ken.
chair. So,
I nominate Ken Farm.
Ken Farm respectfully declines.
I nominate Eric Irwin.
Eric, do you accept the nomination as vice chair?
Sure, unless somebody else feels really strong that they want to run. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
There can be multiple vice chairs.
There can be multiple vice chairs.
Yeah.
Yes, but also the fact that if you guys do decide that, that's fine.
Right.
As well.
Can I nominate myself?
You can nominate
You can
yourself.
nominate yourself, sir.
Donald Guerrero would like to get into vice chair.
I second that.
And Eric will withdraw his name.
All right. So.
I'd also like to nominate myself as vice chair.
Oh.
Oh, and I second.
Oh. Wait. So you're gonna withdraw your.
You can have up to
No.
3.
Multiple vice
It
chairs.
can be a multiple, but they can also it is a decision of the board whether or not you guys want multiple chairs.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes. So
I don't think that's how it's interpreted.
Okay. Go ahead and restate that one, Zidel, because I think this is important on this for the procedural section.
If we can get legal representation.
There are many, can I just point out there are many positions on the board, and there are 7 of us. There are about 4 positions.
So
we
for-
can fill it. We can have 2.
The reason we're doing it as bad as it sounds like this is because the last time when we did chair, because we didn't go through the process the way it was supposed to,
It was invalid.
it was invalid. So we couldn't go like, is there any opposed? Okay, vote by acclamation. Like we had to actually go through the roll call of the meeting part. So I wanted to make sure that we have just in procedural wise, so we don't have to have a repeat of that. But there's a vice chair, and then I think it's up to the board if they want to.
It is
have
up to
additional.
the- right.
They have to
Can
agree
we-
on it.
can we agree?
yeah, yeah.
Can we agree to have one position one person per position?
So from my understanding is that once this meeting is closed out, the next meeting you can have a vote on those additional vice chairs. Unless unless the chair wants to take over, you have to have it recognized, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be recognized, same as chapter 92.
Can I
So it has to be at the time.
read something?
Um,
Can I read the rule?
Go ahead.
Okay, so section 2-11-313, officers. A. The officers of the commission shall consist of the chair, 1 or more vice chairs, and any other officers the commission determines it needs to conduct its business. It can, although I'm not a professional legal attorney, it can be interpreted that 1 or more vice chairs is allowable.
Yes, it's allowable, but it's up to the board
There
to
is
decide.
Yeah.
But then there's a
Okay.
separate clause, it says, and any other officers the commission determines it needs to conduct its business. It does not necessarily mean
Yeah.
that in conjunction with the vice chair that the commission gets to decide how many vice
Not the
chairs there
commission.
are.
The fact is the board, you're talking about the board. Okay?
Right.
So the board can also deem other officers that they deem appropriate for their specific board.
But they cannot do it right now unless it has been recognized, that's the thing. So because it's,
So your interpretation is that the commission,
once this meeting
Board,
is,
right?
once this meeting is over, right? Once this meeting is over, the next meeting, you can have all those other officers, aside from the main ones, your chair, vice chair, secretary, things like that. If you wanna add like a second vice chair, like other people, stuff like that, from my understanding and how I've seen other boards do it, they have to wait until the next meeting, unless they already had that practice.
Unless if they have agreed to have
Right,
multiple
that's the reason
officers,
why.
yes.
okay, I'd just like to state that I think the correct interpretation is that the board members can decide that if there needs to be additional officers. But I don't think the board gets to dictate if there can
If we want,
only one
It-
or however many vice chairs there are.
if we want to, you can ask the commission,
Okay,
because the
so
next commission.
one-
meeting-
I'm just saying that, I'd like to wait
So
because that's
if
what
you can
guys
do,
are.
if you guys want to do the vice chairs in both, you can run both, but it depends on the voting, right? You have to have everybody to have agreed to both of you guys to be elected as vice chairs.
Right.
There's seven of you guys right now. You will need all 7 to be voting for you.
It's
as
completely
vice
unnecessary to have 2 vice chairs. There are other positions that could be filled as well.
I'm willing to table it for next time, but I'm just reading the rule that
You can
I don't think it's up for debate.
Okay, so
you can make a motion to actually defer the vice chair's thing. As
Till the
long as
next
you have a
time?
second until the next time, but you also have to have everybody to agree with that.
yes. So you can make that motion if you want, as you mentioned, but everybody has to agree to it. So you want to make the motion to we table the election of the vice chairs until next meeting, you can do so.
So what is your proposal?
It's not
No.
it's-
No,
it's
it's you're
your
making a motion.
proposal.
If
You're
you want
making
to
a
make a
I
motion.
have
motion?
my proposal, but what is your proposal? That will decide.
Can we go to recess, please? Can we do recess
Yeah,
real
let's
quick?
just
Just
yeah, let's go to
please.
recess.
I motion to. Yeah,
We'll do a 5-minute recess. So right now,
Saying is that we should just vote for one vice chair and then vote for multiple.
because we never had multiple vice chairs before,
Okay.
okay? That's the reason why, because we've always had just a chair, vice, chair, and whatnot. Now, because it wasn't mentioned before,
So we have to talk about
we
it.
wanna rather be
just-
a little bit more cautious on the chapter 92 side than more blase,
Okay.
right?
So.
And doesn't she need to make a motion for that to be tabled for the next meeting? Is that also what you're saying too, Ken?
That's what we're bringing up too, Eric. So that was, I told her, I said, we can do that too. It's just, you should make the motion to table it till next time around. And then that way, the agenda can change to reflect, the, first vice chair, second, whatever, right?
Oh.
You know? And
Am
our
I
chair,
on?
whatever.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, what's up, Amanda?
Just for historical purposes, because I've been on the board for a very, 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 very long time, there has been multiple vice chairs, right? It's just that our group has gotten a bit smaller over the years, but that doesn't take away the right that is there and already created. If people choose not to have multiple vice chairs, so be it. But it's not something that invites more people to want to be a part of the community, which I encourage because I'm born, raised, and live, and I want my community to be a part of it. So I'm never going to say no. That would not make any sense for someone that's born, raised, and live and work. So again, we've had multiple vice chairs. If people want to move on to the next one for next time, that's fine with me too. But that's the right for people to have that ability to do so. I'll never take that away.
Okay, so that's not where, okay, so Amanda, because you're chair, I'll check with, so on this one, that because we already had tasks where we just voted for multiple chairs, that would just go in and do that past practices before. I'm asking her.
Practice is well established for decades. We're going to stay with it.
Okay, so I'm going off of what you're saying here. I'm waiting for Zadella to come back. I'm gonna say that because you're the chair. So I need till he gets back.
So this concern is only because Eric wants to be vice chair, Donald wants to be vice chair.
No, Eric
and
withdrew.
Yeah.
Well,
This is the only concern is that you would like to nominate 2 people when we are trying to say it's a consensus of the board.
right, you're trying to limit it.
No.
To just
No.
one vice chair,
No, we're
only
not.
one vice chair.
No. We're not.
They're basing it on past practice, Angela. So if it's been one chair historically, which we just learned it might not be the case. If it's been one chair historically, they're going to go to that. If they're going to expand it beyond what it has been there in practice, then they need to vote on that. However, if there is past practice that there were multiple, I don't know. I guess that's up.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's good.
There's
That's
been
the first
multiple.
Yeah.
I can affirm that, definitely.
Hey, Zoidal. So what Amanda was saying, I'll defer to her on this one, is that there was past practice where they just, even with the language that's in there, they just had multiple chairs, vice chairs. So because we had that past practice before, and she's the chair, we'll go with that interpretation.
that, and then I also got clarification from my from our deputy director.
Oh, the-
So yeah, Dylan. So what he says is that if you want multiple chair, how many vice chairs, you can make a motion, and the board votes for that.
Let's settle then.
Okay.
So,
So
You can make a
Let's move it
motion.
along. There's a lot of people waiting.
Yeah, so you can make the motion to have two vice chairs, and then if somebody second it, and then we'll take a vote.
Or
Roll
I
vote.
can make a motion to table this subject matter for the next meeting. And
yes,
then we'll
let's
do
do
that
that.
too.
That's
You could also
That
do
would
that.
be great.
I mean,
We
you can
have lots
also
of
do
people
that.
waiting
I
here.
will make the
yeah,
motion.
can we go off of? Can we get off and recess? Okay, hold on. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, it's 7:50 right now. We are back in session. Just wanted to clarify some things. So I believe that there will be. Is there a motion?
Angela Melody Young, board member, I will be making the motion to table the voting of officers, specifically the vice chairs, and the concern of voting for multiple vice chairs. The motion is to table it until the next meeting.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor to table vice chair. Election of vice chairs. Is there a second?
Second.
Is it moved and seconded? Is there any in opposition?
A different, is that, I don't know what the procedure is, but if we just want to propose to table all the elections at this point and just move on, or or do we need to vote?
No,
on
we
these?
can't. We gotta go through this thing like unfortunately this would got us the last time. So
I'll say nay.
in this case, you're gonna be we can't. Okay, if it's one no, we can't do it because
Then we'll do that election right now.
right.
Oh,
You already have one no, so
So that kills
that's
that.
did not adopt.
So we can't adopt that, but you just motion right there. So we have to move to an election of a vice chair.
Yes.
So
we can, I'm sorry, guys. Apologies.
no, I'm sorry. It's the way that it's interpreted because it's not like how many people make quorum and then 50% plus one. It has to be. It's the totality of the board, and how many seats are there to what constitutes the quorum. You know.
There's only 7 in here right now. It needs 7 votes to actually be adopted.
Does that make sense, Eric?
Yes, it does. I just feel bad for making that mistake, so I do apologize. So yes, I do understand.
You can withdraw that if you want.
I will withdraw that then.
Okay, so we have moved to second. There's no opposition to tabling the election of the vice chairs till next meeting. Moving on to secretary. Does anybody want to be secretary?
Wait, what does that entail? You write.
It says right here, serves as officer, chair or vice chair staff, then ensure accurate minutes are taken, right minutes.
So right minute, I nominate Angela Young.
Okay, Angela, do you accept the nomination for secretary?
You pay attention to the detail.
What are my options?
It's either yes or
Yes or
no.
no?
Yes or no?
No, because I'd like to be vice chair.
Okay. Okay, so is there any for secretary if
Can
there
I
is
be
none?
can I be secretary and then
No.
No,
get upgraded to
no,
Cannot.
no.
It's not a hierarchy. It's positions to serve the board. Moving on.
Okay, so we don't read about treasurer too much, right? So that's to be required.
It is still.
I nominate
So-
myself as treasurer.
You want to be treasurer?
Do a
Garth?
secretary. Is there nobody?
Actually, you
There's
know,
nobody for secretary.
actually,
I'll
I
nominate
nominate
myself
myself as
for
secretary.
You want to nominate yourself? Okay.
Oh, wait, what?
Go ahead, Eric.
I'll nominate myself for secretary. I was that last time, so.
I second.
Okay. So moved and seconded. Is there anybody else before we close nominations for secretary?
Looks good.
Yeah,
Let's
looks
see.
great.
Love it.
Okay,
Love
so
it here.
Same thing.
close
Diosa.
nominations down the line.
Eric Irwin.
Ken.
Eric Irwin.
Donald.
Yes.
Say his name.
Eric.
Did I say his name?
What's his name?
Eric.
Eric, yes.
Carbs. Eric. Amanda. You're muted, Amanda.
Sorry, Eric.
Angela,
Eric,
Eric,
Erwin.
Secretary.
Ooh, thank you, congratulations.
Okay, moving
Treasurer, I
on.
nominate Clarence Pintor as treasurer.
I second.
Okay, is there any other nominations for treasurer? Yes, no?
Nada. Love it.
Okay. Anyone
Same.
opposed? Going down the line again.
Diosa,
Clarence Pintor.
Ken,
Cards.
Donald,
Cardenas,
Eric,
Cards.
Amanda,
Cards.
Angela,
Cards.
and then cards.
Pintor.
Okay.
Pintor.
I love it. Beautiful.
I'm gonna move
Awesome.
this one real quick on this one here, because I'm just gonna go to agenda 5 to get in order. Agenda 5 right now is the approval of regular minutes from the last meeting, memorandum of record which was needed in terms of the checkbox that was needed for the that group. I think it was the church, or it was the daycare center for this elderly.
I think so.
Remember when they gave that
Yes.
presentation?
I approve.
And then there was the 3-letter absence for Matthew White Coleman. So right now, because we have quorum, we can just all 3 at one time?
Well, you can have you can say, is there any correction for A and B?
Right. Is there any correction for A and B? Because if there's no correction to the minutes,
Adopt it.
and motion to adopt. So is there a
Motion to
motion to
adopt.
adopt? Okay, it's been moved
Second.
for a second. It's been
Second.
moved and seconded.
Nice.
Any opposition to the approval of the minutes?
No.
Then the minutes will be approved as written. Moving on.
The
Number
three
absence.
The 3 absence.
The 3 absence. So we'll move on to 3 absence. This is a 3 absence rule. This is a vote to remove. So if right now,
I can't hear hands, sorry. Go ahead.
right now it's this person Matt White Coleman. Many times trying to get a hold of the individual, was not able to get a hold. Letters were sent out. So we have to move on this and act. This basically, effectively, this person's off the board with this vote. So the 3-letter absence is to approve the letter absence, is that correct?
The motion would be to vacate the.
Okay.
I make
seat.
the motion to vacate.
Okay,
Matthew White Coleman.
So it's been motioned to vacate. Is there a second?
A second.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any opposition toward the vacating the seat for which Matthew White Coleman holds? Any opposition?
No.
Nope.
It's great.
Okay. Moving on from there.
Go to Board of Water Supply.
Board of Water Supply, are you here? Sorry about keeping you from there. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna invite.
Board of Water Supply. Let's see.
That's okay.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Harry Chu is here.
Harry, you here?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I can't turn on my camera. I'm actually on my phone. I'm having some issues with my computer. But good evening, everyone. Henrik Cho with the Honolulu Transportation here for the rail project. I just have one update regarding signage on Dillingham. Earlier this week, our contractor installed some business access signs all along Dillingham to help the drivers basically see where the driveway entrances are. There were some concerns about the tone being a bit confusing, so to help with that, we ordered and had our contractor install these business access signs at each business, and actually we received a lot of feedback that these signs have been very helpful in navigating the work areas. But aside from that, there hasn't been any major changes on Dillingham. Dillingham Boulevard is still reduced to 1 lane in each direction from Middle Street to King Street. And as a reminder, this traffic condition is going to be in place for the duration of the utility project through 2026, and is likely going to continue into the guideway after that as well. We also have other lane closures outside of Dillingham. So if you'd like to see other lane closures in areas that HART has construction, you can always visit our website at honolulutransit.org. But other than that, that's my report, and I can take questions.
Okay, is there any questions from the board for Hart? It's a question, right?
Yes.
Go for it.
Am I thinking time?
Yes, you are
How
3
many
minutes.
seconds?
You have 3 minutes.
So give me a warning.
Okay.
Okay. So I would like to ask about HART and the National Environmental Policy Act. So NEPA was one of the first laws ever written to legislate the broad national framework for protecting environmental justice. And this is invoked when airports, buildings, military complexes, highways, parklands, and other federal activities are proposed. And so the HART went through this assessment with NEPA and is registered with the FDA and the DOT to the National Archives. I'm just wondering about the environmental assessment, and can you provide information about this?
I don't have any information on that, but I could look at how HART was involved in that process in the past, and hopefully I could gather information to report to you next month.
It'd be probably a 200+ page document, so.
They could email it.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions from the board?
No, thank you.
Any questions from the community? Perry, I just have one thing here. Oh, you had a question? Go ahead. Yeah. You gotta, you know the drill. May state your name. That's right.
We love him. We're gonna have him here. Hot seat.
Just speak a little louder, sir, and state your name.
My name is Thomas Beck. This is in regards to.
Oh, sorry. Can you speak up a little bit? I'm having some trouble hearing you.
Yeah, the mic's over here, so you're gonna have to.
Thank you. My name is Thomas Beck. My major concern was what happened with in regards to the trees being trimmed. I did have contact your office, but I had two different answers in regards to who was contacted, when they were contacted. And part of that is with the outdoor circle. It seems that prior to the trimming of the trees, they weren't given adequate time to address the issue. Part of that was some of the trees are supposed to be trimmed, not cut down. This is from outdoor circle. I understand that years ago they had moved, I guess, rail because of access in regards to the high power lines. Are you looking at any other changes in regards to, at least on Dillingham, that's going to affect anything else?
No. What was presented a couple years ago, called the Malka shift, is the general alignment of where the rail guideway will go down. So up to about Waikimilo Street, the rail guideway will go along the center of Dillingham Boulevard. And once it hits Waikimilo Street, going towards King Street, it will shift from the center of Dillingham to the Malka side of the sidewalk. And that is probably what resulted in the trimming and cutting of some of the trees on Dillingham. What you mentioned about outdoor circles, so HART is currently in the process of discussing with Outdoor Circle on what the procedure should be and who the appropriate people should be to be notified when these tree cuttings are done. So we're currently in the process of discussing that with the Outdoor Circle.
Thank you. I have a second question. It's in regards to ridership. Would you have any information in regards to how many people are riding it daily?
I don't have to off the top of my head. Actually, HART doesn't track the ridership. That's overseen by the Department of Transportation Services. But if you go on their website, it's very simple, honolulu.gov/skyline. They actually post the daily ridership numbers on their website. And if you just go to their website, honolulu.gov/skyline, to have the ridership numbers listed on the website.
I did access that site, but my concern is you guys are looking at from 2030, hopefully, that you have about 120,000 people using the rail. With the numbers that we have now, granted, it's not finished. How do you propose to bring it up to close to that level?
Again, so Hart, we just oversee the construction of the rail project. We oversee the design and construction of the rail project. In terms of how to get more riders to use the system and how to market the system and increase ridership, that's actually overseen by the Department of Transportation Services.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for the community? Nope. If not, real quick, Harry, so there's the I'm gonna call it the private road that's before Alakea coming, if you're coming from Jollibee's area. There, I know there's police always there, but there's always cars that still try to make that turn. And was real close to accidents. It looks like there's a camera that's pointed right there. I don't know if it's an enforcement camera or what, but it would be nice to know what kind of camera it is, and we can talk about that offline, because people are still trying to make a left-hand turn coming down from Jollibee's going down and trying to turn like they were before, even with the police there. So I just wanted to not see an accident there or see more pedestrian. Is that something that we can kind of look at and see?
I'm not sure what type of camera that is. I could, but yeah, you're right about drivers making the left turn. We do what we can to try to mitigate.
I understand. Terry, I understand that part. So the question is, and I know you don't have the answer to this right now, is the camera, it looks like it's a camera that's facing that area. Is that a camera that is just there for looks, or is it actually there for enforcement for those cars that are turning, that it creates a ticket for those individuals? I don't know the answer to that, but if we can, maybe next meeting, that would be real appreciated.
Okay, that might be one of the questions for DPS, but I can, yeah, I'll definitely.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you, Harry. I got.
Yeah. And sorry,
So,
Ken, did you say that was at the Costco private driveway intersection?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay, so now we're gonna move to community concerns. So your time starts at 3 minutes. So, Carlos, if you can do the timing, please.
Okay, we have.
You can go first.
Roger.
As soon as you say your name, and your 3 minutes starts.
Okay. Can I introduce her first, but then her time starts after she says her name?
Say your name and then.
All right. My name is Diosa. I will be representing Marjorie. She's a parent of the community, has young kids, and her kids are here in the back of me. She would like to share her story, what had happened. Go ahead. Speak into this mic. Sorry.
Hi, my name is Marjorie, and I'm here to represent my kids. My children goes to Kalihi school on the day of September 26th. My 3 children were walking home from school on the mentioned date and time. As they approached the H1 overpass in Gulik, they encountered an individual who appeared to be mentally unwell. This individual suddenly approached my 8-year-old son, who was holding a popsicle from school. In a disconcerting and unprovoked manner, the person just grabbed my son's hand, which is holding the popsicle, and proceeded to eat it. In response to this startling act, my 16-year-old son, which is behind me, instinctively intervened by grabbing the wrist of the mentally unwell person. He was attempting to prevent any further actions by the individual and protect his younger brother. This intervention also aimed to prevent the stranger from physically lifting my son off the ground, as there was an evident risk for his safety because it's close to the freeway. Just under. After this perplexing and concerning incident, the mentally unwell individual abruptly walked away from the scene, seemingly unperturbed by his actions, as if nothing had happened. This left my children unstably shaken and distressed by the encounter. The following day, I went to the principal and I talked to the principal about it, and he told me because it happened outside school premises, they couldn't do anything about it. So he advised me to go to HPD. My intention was to meet the principal, was to make him aware that this thing is already happened. Now, he told me that this incident already happened before, since I received also stranger danger letters. So following the school's advice, I immediately went to HPD. I met with Mr. Von Houten, and he told me the exact words were, the schools needs to be proactive. And so I left there feeling like I felt so helpless. I felt for the concern of the safety of my children and other children that walked there without parents. And with you guys saying that the holidays are, approaching, this is more dangerous. And this person is walking here and there freely, doing something. And I felt like I can't do anything about it.
It's time. So.
Thank you for bringing that up, Justin. Please, want to pass the gavel here, but, we follow up with Lieutenant Anthony Smith, and, there's a little more resolution to this.
Yeah,
Appreciate
so
bringing it
as a
up.
board, we will do our best to help support you in any way we can, and we'll help you follow up with HPD too. But it's good that you get your concern out there and have other parents who are also listening online to be aware of your surroundings. Specifically on Gulick, on the H1 overpass, right next to Kalihi School, dangerous area. There is a man who I believe is disabled. We're not too sure whether drugs are involved. I don't think so. But he is walking around frequently. Mostly he's very calm, he just walks around. But due to this incident, we have to be a little more vigilant and just watch out for a keiki.
Can I speak more and just add more to that? I felt like I'm not done yet.
Oh, sorry, sis, we have 3 minutes. I'm so sorry. But what else you want to say?
Well, I just want to say, well, I came forward here today because I believe the incident we experienced should not be dismissed. And the safety of our community, especially our children walking home from school, must be priority. This incident has highlighted the urgent need for increased vigilance and community awareness when dealing with individuals who may require mental health support or intervention. Mailing stranger danger letters to families is insufficient. This incident serves as a powerful reminder of significance of educating our children about personal safety. I mean, as parents as well, right? Equipping them with the knowledge and skills to respond effectively when faced with unsettling situations. School leaders should take more proactive approach where these incidents occur within or outside school premises, given that this incident isn't an isolated case. It didn't only happen once.
Right. If you want to send that as a letter to
Yeah.
the board, you can do that too.
Yeah.
As part of like a personal testimony.
Yeah, we'll get the information.
Record. But thank you very much for coming forward on that. Appreciate it. Thank you, PSA, for
Thank you, guys.
Is there any other resident or community concerns?
Okay, you did good.
Somebody want 3 minutes? If there are 3 minutes. Mr. Higa?
All right, Mr. Higa. Get this please.
My name is Ronald Higa. And I just want to say about this, about the meeting. that at Kalihi Valley, they voted on to go to Ka'awai school because they waited that for a long time. And not only that, sometimes at here they had about 3 or 4 persons, including me. Sometimes only me and the neighborhood assistant. So they went back and they was happy and they celebrated to go back to Kawai school. They was looking for a place. So somebody went, I think the chair went to talk to the principal, okay? And then at the Liliha, that is another one that they had at my school. Then when they had the virus, they came here. Then later on, they went to Kalihi Church. And then next, they had to go back here again. And then they wanted to go back to my school, but they waited 1 month. They waited 1 month for because the commission never complete the application. And then only last month they went back to my school and they really cheer up and celebrated. And now, since yesterday, I went to this Nuano Punchpo meeting. They said that they want more participation. They had them here. They had only a few people. But the commissioner said that you better go back to Paoa Elementary School, yeah? And then because they wanted more in-person participation because they had only a few. So they all agree on that. So maybe you guys, I don't know, because they are finishing out all the meeting here because there maybe only 1 or 2 left. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. It will be up to the next chair on that, which is, but Stephen, that's right. Stephen, you got, you wanted 3 minutes? You have less. Stephen?
Sure, thank you. I'm not sure I'll need all 3, but hi, I'm Stephen Medula Williams. I'm with Amazon. I'm the Senior Economic Development Manager. And I don't necessarily have a community concern, but I just really wanted to take this opportunity to say hello to the board and to the audience today. As I said earlier, I'm with Amazon, and I look forward to, not necessarily today, but definitely in the future, presenting our project in Sand Island to this board, as well as answering any questions you have about the project in the future. So just wanted to say hello, and glad to be a part of everything that this board is trying to accomplish. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. I don't know if I have your contact info, but can you DM that to the admin for this thing?
Yeah. Steve, yes. Message me those information.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
You can actually message me that information about with Amazon if you guys do want to present.
Yes, I'll be more than happy to do that.
Right, so we can the chair will contact you.
Right, the new,
Absolutely.
The new chair, the incoming chair.
The new chair will come in inside.
You have Dana.
One last person.
Yeah. And like
Okay.
Dana, yeah.
Okay, so this I think is the last person in the community. Ours will put 3 minutes on there. Dana, you're new, but can you just say your name for the record, and then your time starts as soon as you say right after that. Hello?
Yep.
Okay, just say your name for the record, and then just that's when your time starts.
Yeah, my name is the Indigenous Association Christmas Parade that's going to happen November 24th. After 3 years since 2019, we haven't had it, and we're bring it back. It's going to start at Kalihi Church, going down straight down to the street, off daily because of the hard feeling. With the shorter route, we plan a hyena and Kapalama. So everyone is invited, and I usually go to the alley coordinated. So it's announced there. I just wanted to follow up with you. And Grand Marshal is going to be mayor, so he's going to be involved in the parade as well as I saw Tyler Del Santo. He's going to be there as well. So I just wanted to make you aware.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yap. Is that what you said? Thank you, Mr. Yap. We are now going to move on to presentation. So we're going to go and we're going to the Mayor Wright presentation. I'm sorry, say that again. You have a community concern? 3 minutes. So you guys say your name and then your tax question there. So right after this 3 minutes, then we're going to start the presentation.
When I say my name, right?
Yeah.
Where's the camera? Where's the camera?
There.
Always forget. Where's the camera?
Over there.
Okay. Sharing screen. Process. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. And
You can start.
3, 2, 1. Angela Melody Young, a board member of the Kalihi Kapalama neighborhood number 15. And I will be sharing with you the concerns from CARES and WAR, Rescue of Animal Rights, Community Advocacy Research Education Services, our grassroots advocacy, which was published at the Hawaii Children and Youth Summit. And if you don't know, the Hawaii Children and Youth is a summit chartered by law in 1994 from former Senator Suzanne Chun Oakland and also former Representative Dennis Arakaki. And if you go to this link, I will show you CARES's public policy initiatives, and it starts with A, B, C, D, E. So A, animal welfare. This is about the Animal Welfare Act and also how to be humane to animals. And B is bullying. So this is our ABC anti-bullying campaign, and it defines what is bullying. If you're unfamiliar what is harassment, the act of bullying, annoying or alarming a public school student, employee, or volunteer, offensive physical contact, insulting, taunting, or challenging someone to provoke a violent response, verbal or nonverbal expressions, creating a hostile learning environment, an action that adversely affects the educational opportunity of a student, causes someone to feel humiliated, intimidated, threatened, or embarrassed. That is bullying and harassment. And this was proposed in 2021 by House Bill 225, and it did not get enacted as law. And however, you can see from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, this is something that is reported at the federal level, and there's also a Federal Rape Act. So we also talked about community safety, neighborhood security watch, and that's C, and then D is adult policy, stopping the smoking epidemic, advocate for students' health, and then E, environmental justice. And this is about the whales and the dolphins choking on plastic pollution. So the activity for the kids at the Hawaii Children and Youth Summit was we have this little plastic baggie, so it represents the initiative, and then the QR code, you can choose one, A, B, C, or D, and then the children, you vote what's most important to you.
All right, thank you very much.
All set.
Thank you.
Can you unshare, please?
Yeah.
So I can see people on.
Cute.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Michael, are you there?
Angelo.
Stop sharing.
Yes.
For the Mayor Right project?
Michael, yeah.
Michael or
Thanks.
somebody else?
Anybody here for the mayor rights presentation? None?
Interesting. Okay. If it happens to get back on, great. If not, we'll be moving to state elected officials. All of these are all on record, because most of them are not. So we have Senator Carl Rhodes. I don't know if you have a representative here.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Hello.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Sarah Thorne. Unfortunately, Senator Rhodes is unable to attend, but I will be relaying all of his information. So starting off, the red light safety program is now in effect and live in multiple different locations. And with that, the red light safety program only issues citations for vehicles that are running red lights as opposed to those that are turning illegally on red. So currently, there are 10 intersections that are live for these citations, with a total of 6,877 citations that have been issued. The red light, last week, the Department of Health reported 683 new COVID cases, with a 7-day average of 90 cases and 8 deaths. COVID-19 remains a top 10 cause in this country and has claimed the lives of more than 1.1 million Americans. I strongly encourage you to get your shots and booster. A new booster is now available. I also encourage you to wear your mask inside, especially if you or someone you live with is at risk. The virus is still circulating, and with that, flu shots are now available. Please do not hesitate to call my office at 808-586-6130 with any questions or concerns, or you can also email at senroads@capital.hawaii.gov.
All right, is there any questions from the board?
Are we talking about the traffic lights that the police are?
I mean, that's one of the reports that's on there, but that's not them in particular.
Okay, but I don't know what the progress is of giving out tickets, but since I'm in a handicapped wheelchair, I see a lot of stuff going on and I don't feel very safe because they run red lights like you can't believe.
That's why you have 6,000, I think.
Yes, hello, okay, that's all.
Is there anybody from any other board members? If not, is there, okay, so her and then Mr. Beck.
So,
What is your question?
yes, there is a correlation between a disregard for light signals and the risk.
What is your question?
My question is about the correlation of disregard for light signals and the risk of a crash and fatality. And in 2018, there were crashes involving red light running, which killed 846 people in the United States. I'm wondering about this new pilot program. What is the report from the pilot program that was implemented by, I think, Act 131 from 2019? And Act 30 from 2020.
Yes. So I'm only informed on the specific red light cameras, but I could definitely look into that for you, and I can bring you information on that for next meeting.
Good, cards. So one more. And then,
Quick question. Do you know what committees Carl Rhodes will be assigned to for next legislative session?
I do not know that at this point, but I could definitely bring that back to you at next meeting.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Beck. Does that see anybody else on the board?
Good evening. My name is Thomas Beck. I have some concerns about in regards to the COVID-19 issue. Part of that is because originally when it came out, they talked about efficacy of the vaccine being close to 95%. Years later, we find out it's less than 50. Can you tell me, getting a vaccine, what the efficacy of it is now versus what it was previously when they said that nobody, once you get the vaccine, you'll never get sick and you won't pass it on? Can you tell me the actual efficacy of this current vaccine?
I cannot tell you the efficacy of this last COVID booster, but I do know that the more we get boosted, the more herd immunity we will have for the rest of the environment, or with the community. But I can also say that as of last month, the U.S. Postal Service is giving out free COVID test per one household. So if you go online, I can put a link in the meeting that you can get up to 4 free COVID tests online. But I can definitely get to that.
Okay, the second question I have is in regards to the safety of this. And the reason I say this is it's already listed that people have died from this vaccine. It's a known fact. And that's my biggest concern because I know personally 6 people who have died after taking the vaccine. Can you tell me the actual safety of this vaccine?
I am writing all this down, the safety of the vaccine, because personally I cannot respond to this or give an adequate enough answer that will be correct. So I will 100% get back to you next meeting with the answers to all of your COVID questions.
Well, the reason I ask is this. Is it over?
Yeah, as long as we have the questions and then they'll go from there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So I have 2 questions. First, and this is more on the public safety side. So this was the Martin v. Honolulu case, which kind of set the tone for where we are in terms of what we can do from from sidewalk enforcement and whatnot. But also we have this 9th Circuit that, with California. So the last meeting I had was how would that kind of affect here in Hawaii, what we kind of do. Your boss, Senator Rhodes, is he's currently on judiciary, so probably might get judiciary again because he's got it forever. So my question is geared toward that: is how does that affect what we're trying to do here with that 9th Circuit ruling? Does it mean we have to change things? Do we have to, things that for which we would do now that we cannot do anymore?
Yeah. So I will have a meeting with Senator Rhodes tomorrow morning, and I can ask him these questions so you can get a direct answer from him personally. So it's not what I think he would respond, but it's what he would say. So I can, again, come back next meeting with the answer to that.
Yeah, appreciate it. That's all I have.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Sarah. Moving on. Senator Mercado Kim.
She left, so she sent the report.
She has a report on here. Senator Wakai, he sent a report too. Do you have somebody here? He has a report. So those 2 reports. Representative Daniel Holt. Not here. Representative Sonny Ganaden.
He's here.
Is here.
Okay. Sonny Ganaden, Representative District 30. Nice to see you in the room. Legislative session right now, but there's much work being done in Square Building. I've been assigned to several committees with the response for Lahaina. The state budget is kind of still up in the air as we head into the legislative session. There's a lot of things that we're concerned about, paying for people's unemployment benefits, all the services that are coming in for the Department of Human Services. All that stuff kind of gets front loaded by the state. So we're determining that kind of work right now. There have been some victories recently. They started defueling Red Hill just a few days ago. We did pass a few bills last legislative session having to do with sidewalks. So we're hoping to bring some attention to Gulick, Mokawea, and Beckley, which are some longstanding concerns. Been working with our two council people on those. That's most of what I've been up to over the legislative interim, and I'll be here for any questions. Also, feel free to give the office a call prior to the legislative session if you have any ideas for bills or concerns moving forward.
Okay, is there any questions from board members? What, is there a question?
Aloha, Representative Sunny, Angela Melody Young, a board member, and I'd like to inquire, as you were the speaker at the Hawaii Children and Youth Summit, they published the legislative action for next season. So environment was number 1 with recycling, and then education, equality, diversity, and inclusion, and mental health awareness, and also housing and homelessness. And
Hi, yeah, I got the report. So for those of you that weren't there, I had an opportunity to speak at the Hawaii Youth Conference. That's annual event where they bring in some really excellent students from across the state to present at the state legislature. And what the students do is they kind of break themselves off into committees, and they work basically like adults, and they create a policy framework. And some really excellent things came out of that, having to do with the environment, as Ms. Young mentioned, diversity and mental health stuff. So I've got bills on all those things. As I mentioned earlier, I'm working on the committee for wildfire management with, and I'm going to be on the committee for water and land again this year. As for diversity, this is one of my big things, both in lower education and higher education. And for the environmental stuff, there's several things that we still hope to plan for land management. So yeah, thank you again for reminding me. And if you want to see the report, I'm sure Ms. Young can give it to you, or I can give it to you.
okay, and also it was a public chat. I think everybody saw the response from Representative Capella and also the chair of the Education Committee from the House, Representative Lisa, that we are all looking forward to the proposals for next season in August. Thank you.
So did you send an email of your report to the NA over here?
Terry, talk to
Your
me.
office? Yeah. Were you able to, did you guys do that from your office? Rep?
Oh, send you a report? No, I'm sorry. I'm here today.
Oh, okay. Okay, no worries. Just wanted to clarify if it was or wasn't.
No, I'm here. I'm present. Yeah.
No, I was appreciative of that. I have nothing. Anybody else? Hearts?
Just hi, Sunny. Once same question as Rose, and I might have missed it. What committees will you be assigned for next session?
I am on the Water and Land Committee, Corrections, Military, and Veterans Affairs, which helps because about half of the district is Hickam, Pearl Harbor, and Judiciary, which also helps because I still practice law.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Thank you very much for being here, and we'll just direct things your way if there's some things that come to mind. So much appreciated.
Mahalo all. Have a good night.
You too. Governor's rep?
Let me see.
I know the mayor's rep is not here. I hope he feels better going forward on that one.
She sent you the memo, right?
Yeah. Okay. Motion to pass. Councilwoman Rita Cordero, I saw Dina. Dina, you're still here.
Hi, I'm here. Good evening, everybody. Let me just share our report. One moment. Get on Chrome. Anyways, I'm having a hard time sharing it. Bear with me one moment. Okay. It's on Google Chrome.
There you go.
Can you guys see the report?
I see your screen.
Your desktop. There you go.
There you go.
Okay, perfect. Okay, sorry about that delay. Hi, everybody. This is Dina from Councilmember Raiden Cordero's office. I just want to report on a few things. We submitted our monthly report for this month. And first off, I just want to thank everybody that got involved in the We Are Kalihi event on October 7th, and we have about 28 resource tables at this event. The walk began, it began with a walk from 3 different locations and ended up at Kaevai Elementary School. Another thing is that we reported the fence that was damaged at Mokuea Mini Park. The Department of Park and Recreation will do the repairs, but they haven't provided us with a timeline for that repair. We'll keep you guys posted on that. And then in regards to Kalihi stream maintenance, Councilmember Raiden Cordero and Councilmember Tyler Dos Santos Tam have long advocated for the maintenance of Kalihi stream. And because of their persistent request, the stream is being maintained, which started on October 4th. And so the Department of Facility Maintenance will be clearing the stream starting from Kamehameha Highway to the top of Richard Lane. The work is expected to continue for 6 to 8 weeks. And lastly, I want to provide about free junk vehicle program. According to Hawaii state law, anyone who abandons a vehicle on public roadways will not be able to do the following until outstanding fines are paid: register a vehicle, transfer a title, and renew a driver's license. Oahu residents are encouraged to use the city's free junking service to avoid the penalties for abandoning a vehicle. For more information, visit the link that we provided on our report. And if you guys have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
All right, is there any questions? Thank you, Dina. Any questions from the board members?
I have a question.
Okay. Direct question. Okay, please.
Okay. Dina, I was just wondering about the We Are Kalihi event. Did you get pictures of the rainbow balloon arch and the setup and the selfie frames? Because that was one of the activities Moore and Karis was at the Kalihi event at the school.
Yeah, I did not, but I will check with the other staff that are there if they have photos of that.
Okay.
Okay. So you want us to send you the photos? Is that the request?
Oh, no, I was just wondering if you got photos because, yeah. We can talk offline.
Okay.
Any other questions? No. Board members? Anybody on there? Community members, any questions? Is there one person? Anyone?
No.
Okay. I don't have any follow-up questions right now, Dina, but I might have some in the future. But thank you for coming. Thank you for this report and bringing awareness when it comes to those abandoned cars, because they're literally free. That's great on that part too. All right. Thank you, Dina.
Thank you.
Councilman Tyler Dos Santos Tam.
Aloha Chair, this is Lynn Robinson for Councilmember Dos Santos Tam.
Hey, Lynn.
Aloha board members and community members. I'll be very brief. I don't have any follow-up from last meeting. I did put the council members' newsletter into the chat. So it's a link to the October newsletter, and then all his other newsletters are in that same link. So the only other thing that I wanted to mention is late today, Chair, you should have received a joint letter from Councilmember Dos Santos Tam and Councilmember Cordero regarding Bill 44 relating to making false statements. So it's seeks to penalize for people making false statements and relates to monster homes. So
I see the. I don't see the joint letter. I see the your guys' thing. Can you resend the joint letter again, please? Is it a joint letter?
That came from our office manager, and it would go. I can follow up about where it is. I was just told to tell you that that board members and neighborhood assistants, or board chairs and neighborhood assistants in District 6 and 7 should have received it. So, Chair, I will make sure to get it forwarded to you. Okay.
Zadell can forward it. Thank you, Lynn.
Yeah. So just to kind of follow up, it's a gentle request for correspondence, maybe from your board. It gives some detailed options, and maybe if you folks could go through it, there's a deadline of December 31st. So no pressure. Again, just a gentle ask. And the other thing I want to say is that we are continuing to recruit for interns for winter and moving forward. So if you know anyone that might be interested in interning with our office and being part of our robust, diverse team, please have them reach out to me, and we'll see about onboarding. I will put my contact information into the chat. And with that, that's really all I have. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to take them back to the council member.
Yeah.
Any questions from the board?
A question, real quick.
Okay, Angela.
Can you send us a flyer or a brochure of the internship opportunity?
She'll have her info in the chat. Correct, Angela? I'm sorry, Angela.
I can. It's also included in the September newsletter that's in that link.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Anybody else? Any members of the community? Okay, Lynn, I'll just follow up with you later. Okay.
Sounds great. Thanks, Chair.
Okay. Now we're gonna go back again here, procedural wise. We're gonna go to item 7, filling a vacancy. So 4. We have to actually say this because it's our protocol. So we have 2 seats at large. I think 3 now. So we have 1 fight. Currently it's 2 that's on here. So does anybody want to be part of this board? If they were to, they'd have to be here to show their presence, and then we go to recess and verify that they live in the district. If there's nobody, hearing none, seeing none.
I nominate Tom Beck.
I gratefully decline.
You respectfully decline, Tom?
Yeah, no,
You don't have to get declined. You just it's all. It puts you in a whole other realm. It puts you in a whole other realm, Tom.
But thank you. I appreciate it.
So with that said, we'll still have that. That's on the next part on here. We are going to forego the committee reports because again, we have to, vote on those again. Community resources and educational institutions. So there's going to be more programs that are coming out of Honolulu Community College. There is this one idea that's there, and it's more of a, because we're going to have the EMT headquarters that's over here. There was a study that UH did where they were looking at expanding different services. One of them is going to be expanding the EMT program at the school right here, which is great because actually one of them would be the nursing, that would have been great too, to increase screening below. But having more EMTs, we also know the county has put more money into more ambulances, so I think it was double the amounts that they're looking at. So that would be very helpful in terms of response time and dealing with the situations that we have. So that's just something we just wanted to bring the community out to kind of consider. There are other things, so I encourage you just to look at what Honolulu Community College has as some of the other programs. If I'm talking to people who are from the high school side, it's always good to see what the high school has and then in relation to that to even the community college. Because not everybody wants to go to a 4-year university. Sometimes community college, they want to go to the trades. That's completely acceptable. We're all contributing members of society. So with that said, announcements. The next Kalihi Palama Neighborhood Board meeting, number 15, is scheduled to be on November 15th at 7 p.m. And the neighborhood board meeting recordings can be seen on the level channel 49 at www.bolelo.org/live at the following times: the first Monday of each month at 9 p.m. and second and fourth Thursday of each month at 11 a.m. Furthermore, I also want to say that you also can see it on YouTube. So now when we do have announcements, it can have that immediate effect to the community. So it's not like we're having an announcement for something that's going to be broadcast later on. So people can get on the YouTube, they can see it immediately, so we can have more actionable type of things that are on there as well. I'm not one to be real sentimental, but thank you very much for having me for a share at the time it was. Trying to do what we can, we had a COVID. I'm glad that somebody else is picking up the torch on this one. It's good when you have a chance to, it's good when you get a chance to try all the different hats on and see how things go. And it just brings you closer to the community. I just encourage next year, to reach out to me if there's anything. And hopefully, willing with if we can get an agreement between NCO and I believe the church if we can, or other places, or even a high school for that matter, that we can have that there and have a larger community participation. Thank you all very much, and have a wonderful rest of the night. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Ken.
Wow, thank you, Ken.
Your reign has ended.
I'm not a big speech person.
Can you hit the gavel and then drop